Great. Okay, so I guess we are now good to go. Before we delve into today's focus, is there any question from our last session? Is there something that perhaps you tried out that didn't really work according to plan before? Today we'll spend some few minutes to finalize on Zotero, and then we'll go to Mendeley. So I just want to give some few minutes. If anyone has an issue from our class last week, you can bring it up. We address it before we proceed to today's focus.
Yeah, hello.
All right.
Yeah, hello.
I would assume that. Yeah, hello.
Yes, please. After the class, I tried uploading some of my files.
Since the mics are muted in the background, please, if you don't intend to speak to us, you can mute your mic. Was there a fancy? Let me try and figure out who that is. So whoever it is that we're asking a question, please, you can go on.
Yes, please. This is Maul Ismail. Yes. I said after the class, I tried uploading some of my files onto Zotero. Some sync very well, but some didn't sync. It just shows the icons. I don't know. Is it because of the internet or that is how it's supposed to be? I was uploading it from my files
Your computer.
downloaded onto the Zotero. So I just want to find out, is it from the internet or is this?
I think it depends on the file. If the file is a file that has metadata, Zotero would be able to get the metadata for you. If we are only seeing the file but no associated metadata, then probably it means the file perhaps doesn't have accessible metadata that Zotero can access. Maybe it was just a blank document put on the internet. If I say blank document, more like a document that may not necessarily have the metadata that Zotero can access. That could be one potential issue. For example, maybe if I just type out maybe my article, right? And I just put it or upload it onto my website. Maybe it can be any report, any article, maybe any kind of post. If I upload it on my website and you download, Zotero may not be able to give any metadata to that particular article. So if you're having such an issue, it could be because maybe some of the files, Zotero couldn't access the metadata. So you can check those files. Are they journal publications or are they custom articles?
Okay, excuse me. Like just for example, like on your screen, you see the 435, the 435 dash -1. Yes, that's how my exam also shows. So what does that mean?
So if you open this file, this is actually the information. It says this is the publisher, you open journals. So if you find it out this way, it means Zotero wasn't able to extract the metadata. So sometimes, like you said, it could be as a result of, perhaps if you suspect it's an internet issue, what you could do is you could still right click, right? And then go to retrieve metadata. And then Zotero will try to search online again and then try to retrieve the metadata. If it still doesn't find, which means Zotero cannot access the information associated with this article. So in such a case, you can basically edit the field yourself. Okay, so you can right click and choose create parent item and then choose manual entry. And then you can basically create the information there yourself. So you can choose maybe journal article and then enter in the files yourself. Sometimes this happens, depending on the file. I think that sometimes it's not able to really access some of the information on there. So this is from the commonsjournal.org, right? So this is an example here. So I think that's one way. If I was facing such a problem, that is what I would do. I'll create the file, then give it the title, and then fill in this information, and then I could cite them. Excuse me, then I could cite the work in whatever project I'm working on. Or if it has an ID, you can try to see if you can use the ID to fetch information. You realize that here, it has an ISSN, not ISBN. So which means this particular journal, perhaps, I don't really know much about. You realize that if you are going to, Zotero goes with the ISBN, but let's give it a try to see what Zotero would say, right? It says Zotero going to find any identifiers in your inputs. Please verify again. So it's basically saying that it can't really assess much about this particular file. I hope that helps. So
Yes,
that is
thank you
some
so
of
much.
these things you just have to address them manually. Okay, thank you so much. My people, is there any other question before we proceed? All right, so if there isn't any, we'll quickly round up. I think we did the main things that you will need your Zotero for. We did it last week during our first session. So to round up, last week I took us through how to create what do you call it? The various collections or folders that you can use to basically orderly arrange your work, or however you choose to use it. One thing I want to touch on before we round up is how to create a group, okay? A group, how to create a folder or a collection that is accessible by different authors who are working on a project. Okay, or what you say, a collaborative project. I think last week, if I remember correctly, we ended with how to create an account and then how to configure your setup such that it syncs across different computers. I'll quickly do a recap on that, and then we'll proceed. All right, so now if you want to basically be able to access the content in your Zotero, the files, whatever it is, across different computers, you would have to create an account, and then Zotero would be able to sync. All right, so if you come, or if you access settings, right? If you access settings and you choose sync, my voice is slow. Okay, let me try to. All right, so I'll try and speak up a bit. So if you go to sync, the sync option here, now if that's the first time you are using that option, it will give you the opportunity to create an account and log in. You realize that it's saying that data syncing, and it's saying this is the username at Tatianti, right? It's because I have already created an account. So what basically happens is any computer that I log in into Zotero using this same account, these files will be synced across all those computers. So for those of us who perhaps sometimes you work from home, sometimes you work in the office, or sometimes you are on a travel or in different places and you want to still access your files, this is the best way to go about it. Create an account, log in, and then you sync. Once you sync, anything I put here, I'll be able to access it in any other computer that I log into my Zotero account on. I hope that is clear. All right. So putting that aside, I think that was quite direct. But if you didn't get it, you could still alert me, and then I would try and go over it again. Now, the last main thing I want to touch on is perhaps you are working on a collaborative project. Maybe you are working on a paper or on a project with another author who perhaps is in another country. How do you go about it? So what you can do is you can create a new group, right? So if I click on the file option here and I choose new group, so I choose new group, it takes you to this page. If this is the first time you are accessing this feature, or if you have not logged into your account in Zotero, it would ask you to log in. All right, so maybe I'll just hold on for some few seconds. Since some of you, it is the first time you're using Zotero, it would give you the option to log in. Okay, so I'll just give a few seconds to log in. And then once you log in, you should have a page similar to what you are seeing on the screen now. Okay, so it says here you can create a group, create a new group. You can search for group or create a new group. Now we have the public group, which open membership. We have the public group, closed membership, and then we have the private membership group. Now, the difference, I think, is obvious. Over here, it says anyone can view your group online and join the group instantly. Anyone can view your group online, but members must apply or be invited. Only members can view your group online and must be invited to join. So if you are working on a collaborative project with perhaps a few other authors, you'd want to choose a private membership and then give it a name. Okay, so let's make it NUGS workshop, and then you choose create group. All right, so once you choose or you click on create group, it gives you further options, group settings. This group type, we already chose private. And then the library reading, who can access the reading or basically these functions in the group. You'll want to choose any group member who can edit files, any group members. All right. So this basically should be the standard settings. You click on save settings. And then now if you proceed to members settings, as you see on my screen where my mouse pointer is, member settings, it gives you the opportunity to now invite members. It says here, I am the owner of this group. Once I click send more invitations, it gives an opportunity to invite people to collaborate on this project. So it says separate email addresses or Zotero usernames with comments or lines. So here, there are two ways you can invite people. You can use their Zotero username, all right, or you can use their email. I hope you get it. So once you insert the emails here and you click invite members, the people who you are inviting will receive a notification, right? And then they can now join the group. After the group is successfully created, you should see it in your Zotero group libraries over here. So once I refresh or I sync, it should pop up. Okay, so let's finalize what we are doing online with the group. All right, so maybe I wouldn't want to invite any members, right? Once you are done, you realize that you should be able to see the group library. So you see over here, NUGS workshop. So I've been able to create NUGS workshop under group library. So here, it means anything I share here, any member can access whatever document. And the advantage of this is per your settings, any of the group members can add files, can make changes, so that once one author adds a file, all the authors in that particular group or the members in the group can access it and basically use it for whatever project that you are working on. All right, are we good on that? Can I get some feedback quickly? Are we good? Any issue? All right.
Yes, can you kindly take it again?
All right, so I'll quickly try that again. All right, so like I explained, this is for you to basically collaborate with other authors who will be working from different locations or different computers or wherever it is. All right, because you'll not be working on the same computer, you'd have to be able to create a group where every author or every member in the group can access the files that you put there, or that you'll be able to access the files that they upload into their Zotero account. So I'll take us through how to create a group one more time. All right, so you just have to scroll up here, click on File, and then choose New Group. New Group. Right, and then Zotero will take you online. If it is the first time, it will ask you to log into your Zotero account. Or if you don't have a Zotero account, you would have to first create a Zotero account. Right, and then you just have to create the group. So you first have to give it a name. We tried NUGS Workshop, so let's try NUGS Workshop 2. All right, and then you'd want to choose private membership because it's not a public group. It's basically a group to serve a private purpose. So you choose private membership and then go to create a group. And now it says, okay, these are some settings you would have to access. So just confirm all these things. It's a private group. Who would be able to do reading? Any group member. Who will be able to do editing in the library? Any group member. Who will be able to edit files? Any group member. If you're okay with these things, you click on Save Settings. All right, so once you save your settings, and then if you want to invite people into the group, you go to Members Settings. It's saying that this is my Zotero username, and then I am the owner of this group. This is the group name, NUGS Workshop 2. Right? If I want to maybe change roles, I can click here and change roles, but I'm the only member of the group now. How do you invite other members to join the group? Use the Send More Invitations. And then you enter the people's email, whatever email it is here, you can enter them here. All right. And then you can also invite members using their Zotero username. So my username was Tatiante. So if someone was inviting me, the person could just enter Tatiante, and I'll receive a notification and I'll be able to join, what do you call it, the group on Zotero. So once this is done, and after it is properly synced, right, it should appear in your Zotero libraries over here. So we see it over here, that it's now appearing in my Zotero group libraries, which means that anything I put here, anyone who is a member in this group can access it, irrespective of where they are. Is that okay now? I hope that suffices. Are we all good? Can I get some quick feedback? All right, so I guess we are all good. All right, so the last thing, okay, maybe sometimes what happens is people would put all their files into Zotero, and after they put all their files in Zotero, maybe they delete the file from where they were keeping it on their hard drive or their pen drive or whatever it is. So how then are you able to access, if in case you want to create a backup? Okay, so if you go to the edit and you go to settings, right, we have general over here. This general basically gives the opportunity to make some changes, okay, to how you want your Zotero to operate. All right, and then exports here basically help you to export sites. Some of these things you would hardly use them, so I'll not be going through them. And then if you come to advanced, if you come here, it says files and folders. So you go to edit, settings, and then you go to advanced. And advanced, you see files and folders. Now, this is where Zotero is keeping all the files you are feeding it. So in case you want to create a backup, okay, or you want to access all the files you put in Zotero, maybe you want to put them, copy them, and put them on a drive as a backup. This is the source. Okay. So you can just click here, show the data directory. Once you click on it, Zotero will bring you directly there. And then this basically is where everything is being kept. Okay, so once you want to create, what do you call it, backup, you can just copy either all these files, or you can go to storage, and then you will be able to access all the PDFs, all the information, everything. You're able to access all of them here, and then you can copy them and keep them as a backup, so I don't have duplicate files perhaps on your computer. So this is just a quick tip in case you want to create a backup. So if there is no other question, we'll be switching over to Mendeley. I think for Mendeley, we should be able to finish that quickly. And hopefully this would be our last class. Are we ready to switch over to Mendeley? Are there any pressing questions before we switch over? All right. So I guess the spelling committee are good. So now I'll presume.
I have a question. I have a question.
Okay, so let's take it one after the other. So I couldn't see them. You can come in.
Okay. Yes, please. There are other icons that didn't take us through, like duplicate items and unified item. How do they work?
Come again.
The duplicate item and the unified items, how do they work?
So this training is basic. Duplicate items basically captures all the duplicates in your folder or whatever it is. So here, Zotero is telling me that this file, I have it twice on the computer. You understand? It's saying that this particular paper, I have it as 4 copies. Maybe I put one file here, I put another file, I put another file, I put another file here. So the duplicate item basically goes through your entire library and tells you the files that you have more than one copy of. Exactly. So that's basically the function. So it just makes it easy for you to be able to know the files that you have multiple copies, and then you can decide to delete them. So once I click on it, if we check to the right side of my screen here, it's telling me one file was added September 13th, 2025. And the next file, which is the same file, was added 2nd. It's telling me this is the same paper, but you have it twice. What then do you want to do? Then you can choose to delete one of them, and you have just one copy. Is that okay? Okay. So once you right click, you can make any decision you want. So that's the function of the duplicate. Definitely, I'm not going through every function in Zotero because some of them are for the advanced levels. There are other functions that you may never ever use. Right? For example, publications section, it's a tool that can keep track of your publications. Maybe if you want to keep track of your publications, you can keep them there. So it says my publication allows you to create a list of your own work and share it on your profile page on Zotero. And the PDFs or the files. Blah, 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 blah. To add items, drag them from anywhere else in your library. You're able to choose whether to include attached notes and files. Only add work you yourself have created and only include files you have the right to distribute them publicly and wish to do so. So yeah, basically you keep your publications here. Once you put them here, people will be able to access them through your Zotero profile. So ideally, you would want to only put files that you have the access to share or you have the right to share. If it's a publication, I think if it's not open access publication, it means you don't necessarily have the right to put them on a public platform, right? So if you want to share something, if my law knowledge is serving me right, you would have to put files that you have the right to share publicly here. And once you put them here, people can access it from your Zotero profile page or from Zotero.org. So that's the function of my publication section.
Okay.
And then on filed items, basically gives you realize That this basically says that, okay, these are items that are on file, right? So some of these functions, hardly will you be able to you may not necessarily use every function. So I just focus on the basic ones that you'll be using every day, day in, day out. And then this, as the name suggests, trash. So this captures things that I have deleted. Right. So once you delete, it will bring it to trash. And then from trash, you can permanently delete them or restore them to the library. Is that okay? So maybe if I want to permanently delete this one, once I click on it, and then I can choose delete permanently, right? So maybe this is a file, a folder we deleted in the last session. So I click on this and I choose delete permanently, and then it will give, are you sure you want to delete this? I click on OK, and then it will take it out from the trash. So this trash is like your recycle bin on your computer. Once you delete something from your computer, it first goes to the recycle bin, if it is below a certain size. And then if you want them out from your computer completely, you go to the recycle bin, and then you can manually delete it out. Does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, and I heard also a female voice. I didn't see the name. I don't know if it's Ramona or...
Yeah, I wanted to complain. Your voice seems it sometimes goes very low and then it's normal.
Oh, I see. But how is it now?
It's better now.
All right. Please, anytime you realize that my voice is low, please draw my attention and I'll try to take note of that. I'll try to speak
Okay.
louder. Thank you so much.
You're
My
welcome.
people, any other issue about Zotero before we switch over? Going one, going two. All right. So I guess then we'll draw the curtains down on Zotero for now, and then we'll switch over to Mendeley. All right. And when you're done with Mendeley, perhaps if you want us to look at something in Zotero again, no worries. As long as we have sufficient time, we'll be able to address that. Okay, so I'll close mine. And then I already have my Mendeley opened. Okay, so let's all open our Mendeley desktop manager. And then you should have an interface like this. Okay, you should have an interface like this. This is basically the interface you'll be working with in Mendeley. All right, it's also simple to use. However, Mendeley has, I think it's more back prone. If I say back prone, sometimes things don't work as they ought to work, right? So that is one of the main challenges of Mendeley. As we go through, maybe we may be able to see some of these bugs that I'm talking about. So just like we did for the Zotero, I'll just do a quick intro to speak about the overview of the interface, or to just share an overview of the interface. And then we'll look at how to add files, and then we'll look at how to cite, how to create groups. Basically, just follow the same trajectory we did for Zotero. All right, so this should be your interface that you would have. Definitely, yours might look empty if you have not been using it, or if it's the first time you've installed it on your computer, you will not have these things here. But we'll definitely go through all these things. Right? So you have your file, you have your edit, then you have your tool. Now, you should have 3 components. You should have the Mendeley desktop manager, 1. And then you should have the Mendeley web importer. I captured all this information in the installation guide I sent earlier on. So you should have the Mendeley web importer, and then you should also have the Mendeley site for Microsoft Word. I can hear myself. So whoever's mic was unmuted, please, you can help us. All right, I think it's okay now. Thank you very much. Okay, so now the first thing we want to do, okay, is just to quickly have a quick glance, okay? So once you have these 3 items, I think you are good to go. So add references basically is the tool that allows you to add files, okay? Add files to your Mendeley account or Mendeley desktop reference manager. And then as we add, I'll be explaining all these functions, all these tools, what they do. All right. So this all references basically act like your library. Remember, library in Zotero. So all references captures all the files you have in your reference manager. And then recently added, just like the name suggests, captures files you recently added. Okay, as the name suggests, these ones are the ones you recently read. And then your favorites, okay, just like we're able to specify some items in our phones as favorites, you're also able to do that here. We'll look through that. This one also gives you the opportunity to showcase your publications. These are files which are unsorted, and then these are duplicates, just like we did for the Zotero. This also helps you to capture duplicates so that you can know what to do with them. You can't see DA, and I think it should be your screen. Sorry, it should be maybe your internet. Can other people confirm? Are you able to see my Mendeley desktop manager? Can I get some
Yes, we
confirmation?
can see.
Yes,
Yes, I
we
can
can.
see.
Right, great. Thank you. So, big with that DA, I think you should perhaps check your internet. It might be from your end. All right, and then this one is your trash, right? And then collections. Collections are more like folders, okay, that you create to organize your files, right? So I had this as an example, okay, so let's first delete this collection. So delete, and then we are going to create our first collection or folder, whatever you choose to call it. So you just click on create collection and then type the name. So let's make it NUGS Day 2. It can be any name. It can be the theme you are working on. It can be a topic of a paper you are working on, whatever it is. You can just create the group. And then you just click on this check mark here, and that should create the group for you. If I click on this 3-dotted icon here, it says more actions. What do you want to do? Do you want to rename this collection? Do you want to make it available online? Do you want to delete it? Do you want to...
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Doc, seems like you are moving faster. So I don't know if it's only about me. My interface, I could see under groups, I could see create groups. You know, I can't.
You can see create groups.
I can't see the collection.
So I think either my version is older than yours or your version is older than mine. I don't know when I last updated my Mendeley.
Talking about. So I don't know
so
if it's
that's the reason.
All right, sir.
Is that okay?
You can proceed. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. But as we go through, if you encounter any issue, please feel free to draw my attention. All right. And family, as we go through, if you think I'm running too fast, feel free. You can send a text, draw my attention. Because I wouldn't want to go too fast and people miss out on what I want them to catch. Okay, so please feel free. So I'll try and slow my pace a bit now. So I'll try it one more time, okay? So let's first delete this collection. So we delete it. So this is what you should see. You should see create collection, right? So I just click on it and then I give it the name NUGS Day 2, right? You press enter or you click on a check mark and it would create the group for you. So it says, okay, this is my collection. It means I can add information here. So it says here, no references in this collection. Drag and drop PDFs here to add references to this collection. Are we good? Have you been able to create a collection? All right, great. So I see Shadrach responding. Now, can I get some more? If only Shadrach responded that he has been able to create a group. All right. Okay. So, all right. I see that.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
When I click on create group, then it sends me to invite people to the group. There's an option to skip or what? So I don't know if
I am not creating a group yet. I am creating a collection. So if you're talking about groups, it means this group here is similar to group libraries for Zotero. Now, don't confuse the two. So you realize that when we were working with Zotero wants to update. No, let's not update now. So now the group you are seeing in Mendeley, it is group libraries for Zotero. Here, you only create it when you want to create a collaborative group where other people can access the files there. Do you get a difference? For Mendeley, the folder, we call it collection. So I'm not using create group, I'm using create collection. Is that clear? So you should see collection and you see groups. They are two different things. Initially, when you spoke, I thought perhaps maybe I have not updated my Mendeley or you have not updated. But if you are talking about group and it's saying invite people, then it means you are rather trying to perform an action here, which we have not gotten there yet. Now we are just creating a collection.
No, sir. I don't mean to slow the class down. Actually, I don't know if it's
no,
about
don't
me.
worry. We are not slowing us down. You can send a screenshot. Are you able to send a screenshot in the group? A screenshot of your screen?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
please.
so send, and then I'll proceed, and then after I receive it, I'll get back to you. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. All right. So I presume you would have created your collection by now, and because I've not added anything yet, it's empty now. All right. So now, once that is selected, any file I add, right, it will be added to this NUGS Day 2 group or collection. And then everything here would also be captured under all references. Remember, all references is your library, which captures every file in your Mendeley reference manager. So let's click on Day 2. How do we add files? So here it says add references. There are multiple ways to add references. We are going to go through all of them. So let's click on it. And the first one says import files. Select files from your computer. All right, so DA, I just saw your picture. I don't know this version of Mendeley, but I think it should be. Now, it shouldn't. I think I get you. You downloaded Mendeley Desktop. You should rather download Mendeley Reference Manager. I think Mendeley Desktop is the outdated one. So if you follow the file or the guide I sent in the WeChat group, the guide was to lead you to download Mendeley Reference Manager, but the screenshot you have sent me is still saying Mendeley Desktop. If you can see at the top part, this means that this particular version downloaded is very old. I think so, if I remember correctly, they migrated from Mendeley Desktop to Mendeley Reference Manager. That's why your interface, everything looks different. And from the picture you have sent, if you want to create a collection, it should rather be create folder. Okay, so this shows that your version is not the same as what we are using now. Is that clear now?
All right, sir. Thank you. Yes, please. So I can
So
follow
just
maybe
follow the
later.
guide,
Thank
the
you.
PDF I sent in a group. Just follow it and then download Mendeley Reference Manager, and then I think you should be able to catch up. All right. So now let's try this first option to import file. So I click on import file, and then here you can navigate to anywhere on your computer that you have a file that you want to import. So I'll click on this. All right, so I see Abby saying resend a guide. Is anyone, my NUGS people, is anyone able to resend a guide?
Yes, sir. I will
If
do
not,
that.
are you able to resend a guide in the Zoom page?
Yes, please. I will do that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So Miss Abby, DA would resend a guide in the Zoom's group now. Okay, so here, once you are navigating, you just navigate to wherever the file is that you would want to add. So let's choose this one, and then you just click on open. And then it says uploading one file uploaded, one reference generated. Right? So it's telling you, I've been able to add one file, I've been able to generate one reference. So now you can just close this one. Let's look at this information here. So once you see this icon here, it basically is telling you that there is an associated file with this reference. So this captures the author's name, this captures the year, and this captures the title. This star option here, once you click on this star, it means you are adding it to your favorite folder. Okay, so if you want to add some select number of files to your favorite folder, you just have to click on this star option here, and then it will turn yellow, right? And then it means now it will pop up in your favorite folder. So you see it over here. It adds up to my favorite collection. Are we good? Now, this sign you see here is basically telling that this file is new and we have not read it yet. Okay, so once I open this file by double-clicking it, right? So once you double-click it, you'll be able to access the associated PDF, okay, or associated file, and then you'll be able to do the normal stuff you do in your ebook viewer. If you want to highlight, you can highlight. You know, those stuffs. If you want to make a note, you can make a note. If you want to change the color of the highlights, you can do all those things, right? Just like we know. And then if you check to the right side of my screen here, here is a notebook that you can use to gather your thoughts. All right, so you can use this to gather your thoughts, write stuffs here. And then info gives you the metadata related to a particular file. So it tells you, okay, these are the authors, Metza, Guenther, and then this is the year of publication. This is the journal. Okay, these are the pages. And then this is the abstract. If there are URLs, they'll be put over here. All right, and then various other options here. This is the DOI. Okay. And then all this information. Later on, I'll come to tags. All right. So here I'm just taking us through how to add files. Okay. So this is the first approach to add a file to your Mendeley reference manager. I'll try one more time. You come to add references, choose import file. Once you choose import file, you click on the file you want, and then you choose open, and then it will upload it up here, and then to add the reference information. So it says here, one file uploaded, one reference generated.
Can you select multiple files?
We'll get there. So
Yes,
here
sir.
there's an option to choose import folder. Unlike Zotero, where Zotero doesn't allow you to import folder, Mendeley allows you to import a folder. So let's go to import folder. All right, so let's choose trainings. Right? Let's see if we have some files here. So I'm not really sure if we have files here, but let's give it a try and see. So you just navigate to the folder where you have your files, and then you click upload. Oh, we had some files there. Great. So that file had only one, that folder had only one file. So it's added. We'll try another one, import folder. Let's use a try one. So let's import this folder. If it has a file, it should also add. Right? So it's
So
also
it's
one file.
so Doc, so it adds the file, not the folder.
So it adds the files in the folder. Do you get a distinction? Sir. So
yes, sir.
Maybe let's do another quick trial. This is our folder that we have been using. So this is our folder, right? So let's create a quick folder, for example. So let's make it day 2, right? And then let's put all these files in day 2 folder. So we put them in day 2. So we have this file. Sorry, we have this folder. So now let's go to our reference manager again. And then we go to add references, import folder. Now, the reason why we are using this option is because you were asking me, can't you select multiple files at a time, right? That's what you asked. And I'm basically showing you that
yes,
to import multiple files at a time, you can just use this import folder. All right. And then I choose day 2. And once I click upload, it will basically upload all the files in this folder. And then it even gives me a caution that they are duplicates. Later on, we would look at duplicates. Now, if I go to import file, I click. I could select multiple files using the control key or the shift key. And then once I click open, they should still upload. But when I upload, it will create duplicate. For example, if I click open, they will still upload, though these files are already there. So it will tell me you have duplicates. So those are the approaches you can use to upload multiple files. Either you upload the folder or you go to the folder and then select the specific files you want to upload. Maybe if I want to upload maybe just 3 files from this folder, I just have to select the first one, hold down Control key, select another, hold down Control key, select another, and then I can choose open. And then it will upload those particular files I have selected. But now we have a lot of duplicates, and later we'll look at how to work with duplicates. DA, I hope that helps. Is that okay now?
Yes, please.
Powerful. My people, any questions so far? Are we all together? Can I get some feedback? I hope we have not left anyone behind.
No.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So we have looked at 2 or 3 approaches that we can use to add files. Now, let's select these files, okay?
Doc,
Let's
hello, Doc.
delete them. Yes.
Doc. So it means that the files we've just uploaded or we've just added, they are all in NUGS Day 2 collection.
Yes, sir. It means everything
Okay.
here is in NUGS Day 2 collection. But they are all also in your all reference. Remember, all reference means your whole library. But all references doesn't break them down into collection or folders. So ideally, you would want to use your collections to organize your reference manager files. So that when you are looking for particular files, you know that, okay, I am working now on maybe China, Africa. So I put all my files related to China, Africa here. Maybe another time you work on maybe Ghana. You put all your Ghana-related files in a collection Ghana. That helps you to properly organize your files. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, but it's up to you. If you choose not to work with collections, I think it's up to you. You can choose how to work with your reference manager. But I normally go with collections because I like to organize my documents based on the theme or based on the project I am working on. All right. Now let's look at, so let's first delete all these files. Okay, so if you want to delete everything, you just click on this box up here, select everything, then you can choose move to trash. So now our folder is empty, our collection is empty again. Now let's look at another way we can use to add files in a reference manager. So I click on add references and it says I can set up a watch folder. This really interesting feature. Watch folder. Okay, so it says here, sync PDFs from a local folder automatically. Now, this is a cool feature. Here it's basically saying that you can create a folder. All right, you can create a folder and then Mendeley will be watching the folder. Any file you add to that folder, Mendeley will automatically update it and add it to your library. So let's give that a try. So let's create a folder, a new folder. So let's name that folder the two files. So that folder is empty now, right? So now let's go and set that folder as a watch folder. So I click on add reference and I choose set up watch folder. And then I click on choose folder to watch. Right, and then you navigate to that particular folder. So that particular folder is in trainings. And then you choose the two files. And I choose open. Are we following? So now I've told Mendeley that watch this folder for me. So you realize that now nothing has changed. But Mendeley is saying Mendeley is now watching a folder. Right, I can close it. Now, this is where the magic happens. Any file I put here, Mendeley would update it and add it to my library. So let's give that a try. So let's move maybe these three files. Let's move them to the two files. Once we move them here, Mendeley is already watching. So quickly, Mendeley says, okay, guys, I saw some files in that particular folder and Mendeley automatically updates the library. So anytime I move any new file here, Mendeley will update my library. And these are the three files that we added. So it's
wonderful.
Over here. Yes.
So if you delete, I said wonderful, but so it means if you delete that, anything from that folder on desktop, automatically Mendeley will do effect the changes, right?
Yes. Once I delete here, Mendeley will also delete it. Because Mendeley is watching that folder. So anything that happens in that folder is what Mendeley would emulate.
Then this one
Can
is
we
a
go-
lazy
can
man's
we go again?
approach, and it's the best approach.
Yeah, so you just have to go with what works best for you. Someone was coming in. I didn't get a person. Can you come again?
Please, can you take the process again?
All right, so I'll run through one more time. So this option allows you to create a watch folder. Watch folder basically means you create a folder on your computer that Mendeley will be watching. And any file you add to that folder, Mendeley will update that file and put it in your library. Any file you delete in that folder, Mendeley will also do the same in your library. So now let's change. So maybe you want to delete this. So let's remove this watched folder. Let's remove it. And then we now choose another folder to watch, right? So let's go and take out those files that we put in our folder. So I'll remove this file I'll put them back in day 2. All right.
Let's
so
name
this
it.
is
Let's
the
name
file.
it. Doc.
DA, you want us to give it a name? Yes, give us your name. What name should we give it?
Vars day.
All right, so let's give it let's give it Val's Day. DA, do you have a lover?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so let's name the folder Val's Day, right? And now let's go and create our watch folder. Okay. So now we have our NUGS collection, right? We already have this created as our NUGS collection. Now let's add a watch folder. So let's choose the folder to watch. And then we choose Val's Day as our folder to watch. Choose open. And then now Zotero says, Mendeley says, Mendeley is now watching a new folder. All right. So now we can now add some files. Okay, so let's add these files and put them in Val's Day. So let's put them in Val's Day. Once we put them here, Mendeley should tell us, okay, so Mendeley says quickly, I got these files. All right. And then Mendeley automatically updates the library. So that's the watch folder function. Please, is that okay now? Any other questions? So you have now looked at, I think, about 4 ways to add files. Are we good? All right, if you are good, can we just send a thumbs up or send something in the text?
Yes, please.
Or quickly, so that we are sure we are not leaving anyone.
Dear facilitator, so can Mendeley watch 2 folders, or is just one?
At a time. I think it works with 1 folder at a time.
Okay.
Because here, if you want to try to add it, say you have to first change a folder. So you can change. So now let's give it a try. If we now change the folder to, let's make it day 2 and open. You realize that it now changes the watch folder to day 2. Right? So I think it's able to watch 1 folder at a time. So once we change it, it will now switch the attention and focus on the new folder you've asked it to watch. How? Is that okay?
How?
That. All right. So we've now looked at 4 approaches, right? Let's try one more. So now, if you come up here to tools, all right, tools. Let's first delete the watch folder, okay? Let's delete the watch folder. So now, and let's clean everything here so that we can be, tracking the changes we make. Okay, so now our folder is clean, empty. All right, so now if you come up here to tools and you go to search for articles online. So let's click on that. Search for articles online. So it takes us online, and here you get opportunity to use Mendeley's web importer to also add some information to your library. So here Mendeley have their customized library. I think here basically, as you can see, welcome to Mendeley. So it's Mendeley's library. But I think the database is quite huge. So it's able to access far beyond Scopus, right? So it's not necessarily limited to Scopus alone. It captures other databases as well. So now if I type, for example, It says search for and add articles to your library. So let's type citation and let's see if it can locate some of my works. So it goes online and then, right, it's basically able to really actually access some of my old works, right, just with the keyword citation. So now what can we do, right? You can click on view in library. So when we click on view in library, it will take us to our online library. Now, whatever we have here in our desktop reference manager, the cool thing about Mendeley is that it also gives you an online version, though I think you would mostly use the desktop version. So whatever it is here, Mendeley also gives you an online version, an online library, right? And then it will be mimicking all the things I do here. It will be mimicking, as long as it's properly synced, it will do the same thing for my online library. All right, so you realize that sometimes it's even hard to tell the difference. This actually, what you're seeing now is the online library. And this one is my, sorry, this is the table. And then this one is the desktop, the reference manager. All right, so once you click on, let's close the term. Once you click on library, okay, it pops this up over here, and then you can see your library. All right, now, if you correctly installed your web importer, okay, if you are not seeing your web importer here, just open your extensions and then pin it. So you see I've pinned mine. Okay, I pinned mine to my browser. This is not my primary browser, but I still pinned it to my primary browser. So you realize that even for Chrome, you still see it. I've pinned it over here. So if you're not seeing it, just go to extensions, look at your list of extensions, and then pin it. Are we together? I want to be sure we are on the same page before we proceed. We are going to look at how to add files from online. All right, so if I should click here on my web importer, it gives me the opportunity to log in if I have not logged in yet. So if you're already logged in, it will give you right away these options. But if you have not logged in yet, it will tell you to first log into your Mendeley account. And then it's telling me, I can see this file. I can also this file. This file actually has a PDF. This one doesn't have a PDF I can access. Okay, the one that shows PDF not found, it basically means these are not open access articles. If they're open access article, you'll see that Mendeley can add the PDF as well. Now, so if you want to select, if you want to get all these files added to your library, you just click on select all, right? And then just like how we did for Zotero batch download, here too, you can just click on select all to select everything. If you don't want that, you just have to select the file you want to get into your library. So let's select this file. Now, where do you want to put it in your library? All right, so let's put it in day 2. We don't want to just keep it in our library. We want to put it in the day 2 collection. So you click on day 2 and then you choose add. Right? This is where sometimes you can get errors. And that's why sometimes Mendeley is not so cool to use. All right, because sometimes the bugs, especially when you're adding from online, sometimes it gives you some challenges. So it says here, okay, I got the reference, but I couldn't get the PDF. That's what it's telling me. Though it's telling me that this is an open access article. So let's go to our desktop and see what's happening. All right, sometimes it may take a minute or two to sync, depending on the strength of your internet. Great. So once we sync or refresh, we see the file here. So these are the authors. This is the year it was published. This is the title. This is the source where it got the file from. And it says it was added at 7 p.m. Now you realize that here you don't see any icon here, which means we don't yet have the file in Mendeley yet. All right, so sometimes that's a challenge you end up facing. But if we click on this, right, if we click on this the fact that it's saying that open access means ideally you should be able to download the PDF in addition. Now let's click on view PDF and see. So those are sometimes the challenge you face with this web importer, right? So now it's trying to go directly to the journal website, all right? But ideally, if it should work well, it should add the file so that once you double click here, you can read the associated PDF. Okay, so those are some of the challenges you end up facing. Are we good? Now, if you have given it a try, please, can you give us feedback whether everything worked or whether you are being left behind? Just draw attention. I'm just giving a minute before we proceed. If you are good, you can just give the thumbs up. If you are being left behind, tell us where we left you and then we'll pick you up. If you are
Doc, I'm good, but I need to ask one question. So, you see, you searched by your name. Could you do the same in case? Could you do the same using DOI to search for a particular article? Yes, sir.
So let's try that. Normally, the search is for keywords and any other item specific to the paper. But nevertheless, let's try. Let's try DOI and see what feedback we would get. So if I should copy, let's rather copy this DOI. So once we copy this DOI and paste it here and click on search. So here it returns that particular DOI. Get a difference. So if you use object identifiers like DOI, ISBN, or all the other, maybe PMID, it means it would give you the exact file you are looking for. But if you use a keyword, it will give you related files. So that's the main difference between the keyword and then the IDs. So for example, once I type Chinese A, it gives me all the related files that have the keyword Chinese A. So you realize that here it still repeats one of those papers, right? But once you use the PMID or the DOI or whatever it is, it would end up bringing back only that particular DOI, the paper or the file related to that DOI. So that's how you go about using it. So maybe if I just want to gather some good papers on a particular theme I'm working on, it means it will be good to use the keyword rather than using, as in if you want to find papers and related papers, the keyword may be good. But if you want to find a particular paper or a particular article, then you can go with the DOI or PMID or any of those identifiers. Are we good?
Doc, please, how the Mendeley was able to get the file, but not the PDF. How did you resolve that?
Yes, so you realize I also have the same problem here. So that's what I said. That is one of the bugs, like the problems with Mendeley. Sometimes it struggles to fetch you the PDF. And I think Zotero does better in fetching PDF than Mendeley.
So does that means that, Doc, please, does that mean that if we should, you have been using this app for a while. So between the two, which one is your preferred? I mean, which one is the best?
I use Zotero. For my research and all works I do, I use Zotero.
Okay, sir.
I find Zotero much more convenient and much more efficient than Mendeley. Hey, we'll be putting this online, or maybe I may end up losing a business deal with Mendeley. So I think I should give you a different backstage, not online.
Okay,
all right.
Sir.
That is some of the challenge. Okay, that's one of the challenge you face. If we go to the journal, so this is the journal website, right? You realize that it's an open access file that I can download the PDF. So it's saying PDF download failed. So we are seeing him having challenges trying to download this paper. Maybe we'll have to, let's try with another file and see. Maybe it will work much better. on another journal website. So we are not able to. Okay, finally downloaded now. Okay, so it's eventually downloaded. Let's try. So let's try one more time and see the result we'll get. Okay, so we click here, we add it to our NUGS-CHINA. Let's see if it's able to now try and access the PDF. All right, so still it wasn't able to go behind and then get us the PDF. So I think this is one of the limitations. Ideally, it should work, but I realize that it's having some challenges. Let's try another open access. Okay, I see there's another open access file here. Let's try to see if it's able to access this file. So this is by another author. All right, so here, now let's add to see if it can access the PDF for this. Cool. So which means it worked with this particular journal website. Right, it worked with this journal website. So I think the struggles that Mendeley faces depends on perhaps maybe the dynamics of the website or the journal website. So because it couldn't get the file that was on Sage website, but it was able to get this particular file. Okay, which I think gives us at least one potential reason as to why it struggles. So maybe Mendeley works better for some journal websites than others, and that could be maybe the reason why it has those struggles. So this is MDPI. Okay, so it was able to access the MDPI website much better. Let's see. Let's try and get another, maybe one more try. Another open access file. Okay, so this one is open access file. So let's see if it can get this particular file. So I click on this and I choose add. Let's see how it will perform. Okay, cool. So it says here I got a PDF, I got a reference. So I think one main thing is for some websites, Mendeley is able to access them easily. For others, it's not able to access. So here we have tried, this one is Elsevier, right, Journal of Public Economy. So it was able to easily access the Elsevier website. It was able to easily access the MDPI website, but it was not able to easily access the file on the Sage website. So I think that should be a contributing factor. So if you go back to our reference manager and we sync it, it should now give us this file. So you see over here, we now have those two files. Once we double click on it, we will be able to read the PDF and then do any needed change you want. All right, so there's associated PDF. You can highlight, you can make your notes, and then whatever you would want to do. All right, I hope we are good with that. Any question before we proceed? Okay, so now that we know how to, so now we basically know how to, let's close this. We know how to add using a file, using folder, using watched folder. And then now let's look at add reference manually. So let's click on that. So now here we have the opportunity to add reference manually. This works well if perhaps you have a custom file or maybe your own document that you worked on, maybe a report, but you want to be able to cite it, right? So now you can basically, just like we did for Zotero, you can click here, choose the option. Okay, is there a book section? Is there a report? whatever it is. Is it a thesis? So let's go with thesis. All right, so we put the title. Since today they say we should use vowels day. My vowels day thesis. And then you add the author. So it says here, please enter author names as last name, comma, first name. So example, so let's get some names. I see Aftab Ahmed. So let's go with Aftab Ahmed or Ahmad. I hope I'm not damaging your name. Ahmad. Aftab Ahmad, right? And then you add the year, and then just basically fill in all the needed information. Year, the pages. Let's make it pages 1 to 10. Okay, institution, city. You fill in all this information, abstract, and then click on add entry. So I'm waiting for it to pop up. I hope I went through it fully. So add entry you should be seeing it. So let's try one more time. Let's go with our thesis. And then my vowels, the thesis. Let's make it Ahmad 2026. 1 to 10. City. And then basically fill in. You don't have to fill everything, right? You don't have to basically fill in everything. And then this should work for you. And then you put your abstract, and then we should add entry, and then that should work well. So you realize that now we have it over here. The two files we created. We have Aftab Ahmad, and then the one Ahmad here. And then if you want to move it to the NUGS folder here, you should be able to move it to the NUGS folder. Okay, so once I drag it over here, I'll be able to move it to my NUGS folder. All right, and then it should work well. So we have it over here. Did we get that? I hope that was very clear. So now we are able to create our custom file, right? Once we click on it, we see the information here, see everything over here. And then you can make the needed change by clicking here and then making all the needed change. Now, after filling this information, you can add the file. So here, if you click here, you can add any PDF or any document that you want to associate with this custom entry. We just click and then add, and then the file will be associated with this one. And you realize that it will also give you a PDF icon over here. So let's give it a try. Let's see if we can add a file. So let's add this custom file. And then we added this custom file. So it says one file uploaded, one reference generated. So now this file is associated with this Aftab Ahmad. So you can see the file over here, and then you have it. You can open it, export it, do whatever you want with it. Is that okay? So that is our feed approach to add file. Now, maybe the final approach to add file, when you click on add references and you choose add reference manually, you realize that now you even have the easier option to use identifiers. So if you have DOI, or if you have PMID, or if you have ISBN, you can easily paste them here and then search. All right, so let's try with some the links we used for our previous class. So we have DOI. Let's try PMID, and let's see the feedback we get from Mendeley. So we have PMID over here. Go to Mendeley. We paste it, and then let's see what Mendeley will do. So it says data found. Forms were successfully populated. So it says, okay, I got all this information. This is a journal article. This blood-brain barrier overview, blah, 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 abstract. Then you can click on add entry. Now it will be added to our library, right? So we have it over here. And then you basically, if you want it to get into the folder, you can basically capture it in the folder, any folder of your choice. All right, any question? So we have now looked at, I think, about 6 approaches, right? That you can use to add files. So all these are different ways. All right, so if there are no questions, let's move on to something else. So let's cancel this. Please, for those of you mics are unmuted, please you can mute them. Okay. Let's proceed. So now that we have added our files, these ones would make sense, right? We already went through. Recently added will capture all files that you recently added. What you recently read will be your favorite. Anything you put a star on. So for example, if I go to my notes day 2 and I put a star on Ahmad will now be added to favorites. So you see we have Ahmad here. And this is saying that we have not read this file yet. It's a new file you have not read, you have not opened it yet. Right? Okay, now cool feature for use is this reading assistant over here. So if you click on this reading assistant, now let's go to this file. So if you click a file that has PDF and you click on this reading assistant, now this one, if you want to access its full capacity, you need to I think it requires some payment. You have to subscribe, okay, to the paid version. But the free version gives you limited questions you can ask. It gives you a limited number of questions you can ask. And it renews, I think, after every month. I think every month it gives you 5 questions. So it says, okay, I can see this PDF, Chinese aid and local function, right? And it says, what would you like to know about this publication? It is giving an action you could take. Action you could take is summarize this PDF. So you can choose to summarize this PDF or ask this AI a question about this paper. So now, someone should give us a question to ask, not DA. Abby, Miss, what question should we ask about this particular topic? What do you want to know about
So we can ask about the methodology used.
That's a big question. So what should we type? What methodology authors use in this paper? I hope AI will be able to answer us. So what methodology do authors use in this paper? Let's see. And then it would be able to say the authors use a spatial temporal estimation strategy to analyze blah, 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 blah. Great. So this is a cool feature, right, that you can use. So eventually it gives feedback. It says the authors use a spatial temporal estimation strategy to analyze the effects of Chinese aid projects on local corruption in Africa. Specifically, they geographically match a data set on blah, 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 blah to Africa over 2005 with 98,449 respondents from 4 Afrobarometer survey waves across 29 countries. Right, so this is a cool feature. So realize that now that we entered this,
please, we are getting feedback. Can
A moment.
somebody off that?
Ohima, kindly mute because this video is going to be posted for others to benefit. Yes, thank you. Kindly go on, sir.
All right. So you observe that initially it was saying 4 questions left. Now after we asked 1 question, it's saying 3 questions left. I think this is a maximum of 5 questions every month. If you want an unlimited amount of questions or an unlimited number of questions, you would have to subscribe to a paid package. All right, so are we good with this reading assistant, this Gen AI option? Okay, you can ask it any question you want about the paper, and then it will try its best to give you some feedback. Adama. All right, so now what else is there? So the notebook, I introduced the notebook here. You can basically make notes. It's very obvious. You can type a new page, add your title, NUGS workshop. Okay, and then start typing, and then it's basically, and then any annotations, okay? If I open this PDF here, so let's open this PDF here. Any annotations you make in relation to this particular document, it will be captured here. All right, so let's maybe add a message here. All right, so let's add a message here. Right, this is a great paper. Once we keep it, okay, now it will keep a list of the notes or annotations we make for this particular document. And then we can access it anytime we come back to this particular article. All right, so this is a feature that if you find useful, you can also make use of.
Please add another note again.
So let's add another note. Okay, so maybe I click here and then I add. This is the abstract, right? And then once I finish that, it would keep a list here. And then I can always come back to it. So maybe you are reading a paper, and then maybe you are querying the paper, you are dissecting the paper, and then some thoughts pop up in your mind. You want to insert some notes or annotations or whatever it is. You can be doing that over here, and then it will keep the annotations over here. Like I demonstrated earlier on, you can highlight, you can underline, you can use a highlight rectangle. So highlight rectangle basically allows you to highlight sections more like in a rectangular way. So now this is my rectangular highlight. If I don't want this color, I can change to yellow. Then I go with the yellow, right? And then you're able to come back and do whatever it is you want with this paper. And then you can download this paper with the annotations. So download with annotations, and then you can download it, okay? And then you can use it for whatever it is. All right, so now let's go back to our library. This is our folder. Okay, so now very soon we're moving over to how to cite, okay? I just want to give some few seconds. Are there any questions left about how to add files before we switch over to? All right, so now maybe one more trick, just like we did for the Zotero. If I drag this one, I can also drag it over to Zotero Mendeley, and then it will still be uploaded there as a reference. Okay, so the dragging and dropping also works for Mendeley. So now let's open our Word document. So open a Word document, right? And now let's look at how we can be citing works. So I'll quickly generate a random paragraph, maybe let's add some few more paragraphs. So you have these paragraphs. How then do we go about citing in Microsoft Word? Okay, so perhaps I want to do an in-text. I want to do an in-text citation, okay, an indirect citation. Now, once you click on references, you should see your Mendeley Cite plugin over here. So if you correctly installed, you should see the Mendeley Cite plugin over here, up to the right side of your screen. All right, so just click on that. and then you should get this pop-up option here. If you have not logged in yet, it will ask you to log in. I have already logged in. And what you see here is the staffs, okay, in your library. So, okay, so it will be accessing all the information in your library. And then you'll be able to access any of these reference information or metadata. So here too, it's asking you, where do you want me to look? Do you want me to look in all references? Or do you want me to look in recently added? Or you want me to look in NUGS-CHINA? You just choose the particular place you want Mendeley to refer to, right? So normally you can keep it on all references since that gives you access to the entire library. Okay, so now let's go with this one. We want to cite this one. So once you click on that, it gives you the option here. It says, insert one citation. You are going to cite this guy. Is that all? If you want to cite two, just click on it over here, and then it will create a list. Okay, we can use keyword. Remember, if I use my name as a keyword, it will look for all documentation that has my name, right? And then you can click. So it works same way like we did with Zotero. So let's go with these two. Now, I just click on insert two citations, and then Mendeley automatically adds this one. So you realize that once I hover on it, it automatically gives it a gray shade to show that this is an automated work, okay, an automated work by Mendeley. It was inserted directly by Mendeley.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah.
Please, very sorry, but I think I lost track on, just a brief track on the citation stuff. So I am sure you can, maybe you recap. But then I could see the style, APA style. So now that you have had an in-text citation, if you should change the citation, the reference style, would it take effect in the citation as we see here, or?
Yes, once you update because that's one of the main purposes of this reference manager. So once you edit or you adjust your citation style, it will reflect. So don't worry, we'll get there. Just like we did for Zotero, we'll get there. So I'll try one more of the in-text citation. Okay, so this is the indirect version.
Yes, sir.
So
thank you.
Now, once I use this keyword, let's use this keyword, and then I select this one, and then I can choose insert citation, and then it will set it where you place the cursor. Okay, so now let's place the cursor rather here, and then now let's insert this work. Click insert citation, and it will set it there. Easy for you. So now, what about the opportunity that asking if you want to make some modifications? Let's go with that. What if I want to make some modifications, right? I want to make some modifications. Like I want to add page number. I want to say C, for example, those kind of adjustments. How do we go about it? All right. So once you click on what you already inserted, you see this option over here. It says select below to edit or manually override a citation. Now just click on what you want to make the change to. Just click on it. And then to give you this box to the right side of your screen, it says, this is how the citation is currently appearing in your document. What do you want to do? Now, maybe you want to add a page. So let's add a page, right? If it's a book, you can add book chapter or whatever it is. So now let's add page 10. Do you want to add maybe a prefix or a suffix? Let's add C for example. Right? Normally it would give you a preview over here. So it says, okay, this is how I'm going to modify the citation. Are you cool? Are you good with it? Then you can click on Save Changes. And then it will give you this option. What do you call it? This adjustment, right? So remember, you don't always have to toy or tamper with what the reference manager automatically generates. Don't tamper with it. Try your best not to tamper with it. Try your best to use the inbuilt modification tools. So whatever it is that you want to do, right, you do it over here. Now here, you realize that ideally this reference is what is starting, this citation is what is starting the list here. So ideally, I could have inserted the C, for example, and stops here, right? So you can just modify it to suit what exactly you are doing in that particular work. So let's try a few more. Okay, so maybe we insert this one, we click on it. Now, what if we want to do a direct citation in text? So you want to say, Atetiante says that, or Atetiante found that, or Atetiante did a study and found that, right? So you want to directly quote, or you want to directly cite, right? You're saying that this author basically found out that jiga. So once you choose the article you want to cite, you have to now come up here and then choose display as. And then you click on this drop down and choose author, or choose year, or choose author year, or choose author into bracket year based on what exactly you want to do. So now I want to do a direct in-text citation. So I'll choose author out of the bracket and then year in the bracket. So I click on this, right? And then I click on save changes. And I choose insert citation. And I realize that now it gives me the direct one here. So Atetiante and ACMR, and then I could continue my information here that I think Atetiante and ACMR find or found or review or whatever it is, gathered evidence. Maybe gathered evidence to suggest shama. So this is how you do your direct in-text citation. You realize that I have not tampered with the automated generation. I've still kept it intact. I just use the inbuilt modification to switch to direct citation. So this is the direct in-text citation, and then this is the indirect in-text citation. I hope we get the difference. Are we all good? Are you all on the same page? We'll be closing soon.
Yeah, Doctor, I want to ask, can you combine Zotero and Mendeley on one research paper? For example, if I'm working, this paper that we are working, can I use Zotero for reference on maybe paragraph 1 and maybe Mendeley, maybe the next paragraph, and then collate all the paragraphs, the references? Can it be possible like that?
Yeah,
or you just have to stick to one?
You can use it, but that will make your work complicated. Because if you use maybe Zotero, for example, you realize I still have the Zotero tab here. So I can still use Zotero to do some citations on this page. However, I would run into problems when I want to insert my bibliography. Because now, after I've done everything, if I want to insert my bibliography, it means if I insert my bibliography using Zotero, Zotero would only insert the bibliography I use Zotero for. And then now I would have to now come to Mendeley and also insert bibliography using Mendeley, and it will also insert only the ones I use it for. So it means my bibliography will not be properly arranged. Do you get what I'm sharing? It's like there will be two different listings. So my references may not necessarily follow an alphabetical order chronologically fully, because Zotero would arrange its listing chronologically. And then Mendeley will now also come and arrange it chronologically based on where you insert your cursor. So if I insert my cursor, for example, here, and I put references, and then I insert my bibliography here using Mendeley, Mendeley will write all what I used, all the citations I did using Mendeley, to write everything A to Z. Then it means after that, I'll now have to come and insert my cursor at the bottom of where Mendeley ended and insert using what? Zotero. And that will also create its own list. And then if I want to order them chronologically, it means I have to now do adjustment and stuff. So it means it will be giving you a lot of work. So it's better to stick with one. Is that okay?
Yes,
All right.
please. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Is there any other question about the direct and indirect in-text citation? We are about running up soon. We have some few minutes left. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It's clear. But then you notice that as you do the in-text citation, it doesn't pop up under the references. Or is it something new you will touch on?
No, I've not inserted the references yet.
Okay.
Yes. I'll be doing that soon. So here, once I've inserted the in-text, it should only pop up here. So you have one here, and then I have one here. You realize that once you hover your mouse pointer on it, it will automatically give it a gray shading. So you see here. So once you see that, it means Mendeley automatically inserted this, and which means you are fine. So now I just click on references, right? And then I'll insert my cursor, okay, I'll insert the cursor where I want the bibliography to start. Now I realize that here, when I click on citation settings, it gives the opportunity to change citation style. That's the question we're asking. And we'll be doing that soon. But once you click on this options here, this three dotted icon here, it gives the opportunity to insert bibliography. And then I click on that, and then it says, switch to manual update, keep live update. Now, here I normally go with keep live update because as I insert citations, I want Mendeley to automatically be updating the reference list or the bibliography. Right, so it says here, you can choose to update the bibliography manually to improve speed, or add the bibliography only when your document is complete, or continue with live update as you edit. So normally, I think, excuse me, one of the best ways or the most convenient ways to work is to generate your bibliography as the last thing, right? So you would want to finish your work, do all your in-text citation, do everything, and then you generate your bibliography as the last thing. That is one way. However, if you want to still generate your bibliography as you are still working, it means you have to keep the live update. You understand? But that may slow your work a bit, because if you are working on a large document, it means anytime you insert a new citation, Mendeley would have to now quickly update the reference list. So that may not favor speed. And then the manual one is the one that will favor speed. That's in you work and then you yourself manually update it. Okay, so maybe let's go to keep live updates and then choose continue. And then you realize that automatically Mendeley inserts the reference list or the bibliography. And it does so alphabetically, right? So you have it over here. So now, if I add another citation, right? So let's go to our references. Let's use another keyword. So we have another keyword over here. So let's use insert, and now it inserts. You realize automatically it has added it over here. So that's what the live update will do. Okay. Anytime you make a change, it will automatically update it. So if you're working on a large file, it could maybe slow you down a bit. So ideally, you'd want to first do all your in-text citation, everything, and then one of the last things you do is then you generate your reference list, and then you'll be done with your file. All right. So if I add, the more I add, the more it will be more like updating, it will be giving. So let's add maybe another keyword and do one more. All right, so we add this one, we insert. So Asongu here, we say that we'll add Asongu over here. Now you see that it's very fast because it's a small file we are working on. Now, this is APA, right? APA 7th edition. What if you want to change? Maybe you submitted this paper to Journal A. Journal A rejected you.
Doc.
Yes.
I noticed as you insert citation, it does add in alphabetical order. Is that the case? Because I just what I've noticed.
Yes. Ideally, that is what should be the case. Your reference list, APA style, would list your references alphabetically, not according to how you insert it in your work. Now, remember, the referencing list follows the instruction of the style.
Okay.
So it's not something that you follow a custom approach. So once you go with APA style, everything that has to do with referencing and citation will be according to APA style. If we change it, it will change the rules for this one. So you don't have to necessarily tamper with anything over here. It's according to the style you choose. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. I noticed it's in a box. How about that?
Oh no, this box just pops up when I click inside. But the box will not show in your document when you print or something. No, it's just a box to show that, okay, everything in here was generated by Mendeley. If I click outside, the box automatically goes off. So the box is not something that would appear when you print or something. No, it just appears when I click here, and it's popping up because it's telling me that this thing here, okay, everything over here was basically automated by Mendeley. Once you click outside, it goes off. So it's not any big deal. So once you want to change, you click on change citation style. And then if I choose, for example, IEEE, and I choose updates, you realize that now it will change. Now you realize that it is not following alphabetical order. Now it is citing based on what came first in the document. Mr. D, do you get it now? So now you see that J comes first, then A here, P here, and even here, you realize that it's following the ordered numbers based on how they are ordered here. So it means here, first come, first serve. The one I cite first is the one that is listed here first. I cited Asongu last, so you see Asongu is giving number 5. If I change to another style, it will follow another rule, another set of rules. So let's go with maybe Chicago. Okay, so if you go to Chicago and we update style, it will change. It says unable to change citation style. All right, so maybe sometimes you just have to refresh, or maybe it's perhaps maybe getting some information online. All right, so let's close and then. So these are some of the challenges you end up facing with Mendeley. Okay, some bugs, sometimes it doesn't perform so well. But I believe you get the main thing I was trying to do here. So let's see if it would resume. It is trying to change to Chicago style. All right. Now, as we wait for Mendeley's resurrection, any question? We just have some few minutes to round up. I think we have been able to capture almost everything you need to know about Zotero and Mendeley. So I'm thinking today will be our last class. Is there any question based on what we've gone through so far? Anything you want to ask? All right. So
no, I think thank you very much. It's clear. You notice that obviously we couldn't have moved at the same speed or pace because it's a live session you are teaching. So when we follow the recordings, I'm sure we'll be able to navigate it through. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. My pleasure. So should you choose a case study? For example, an organization to do research on. That's another country during your data collection time. Must you go there? So I think it's all about data gathering, right? So if you have someone on the ground who will be able to gather the data for you, you could use that. But if you don't have anyone on the ground, because you are the one doing the work, and what are the chances that you'll be able to get the qualitative data that you want, right, from the various sources? So normally for case studies, what I know is for top academics, they normally would fly into the country and engage the various agencies or personnel or whoever it is that they want to interview and then they interview and then gather the qualitative data. For quantitative data, it may be, I think it all depends. Sometimes, even qualitative data, you are just going to give them more like a survey form to fill. I think for that one, you may not necessarily have to go yourself. If you can get, there are many research consultancies that you can give contracts to. You give them a certification, they will charge you a fee, and then they can administer the questionnaires on your behalf. So they will just gather the information for you, and then they will send it to you, but normally at a fee. And if you can afford that, then you can make use of that, of the such consultancies. If you can't do, then it means you have to figure out how to gather your data at a minimized cost. And that is where maybe you may choose to want to fly over and go and gather the data. Mr. Oscar, I hope that helps. So I think it's a decision you would have to make yourself. Any other question, family? I think it's been a great time together. Is there any other question about referencing or academic related work? If there isn't, then we'll be running up and then. Yes, I hear a voice.
Yeah, not really a question, but I know you've been doing that. So for this extensive training section, last I remember you issued a certificate. So I want to clarify if that would be the case this time. Thank you.
My NUGS people, should I call on Miss Nene or Mr. Oscar or Miss Ramona? I think the NUGS people are the best to. I'm sure there's an executive on the platform. Can you please speak to?
I'm also an executive myself. I'm an executive myself.
So it means you should answer your question.
Yeah, the last training you gave a certificate. So I think it won't be a bad idea because it's a NUGS organized of which you are a facilitator. So certificates can do it so that you can sign. It's like the whole thing is under NUGS, but at least because the last you organized, you gave a certificate. So maybe NUGS, the neck can, I don't know, there should be a certificate. That's what I propose, if it's possible.
So I think for all trainings I've had with NUGS or other agencies, it is the organizing body that issues the certificate, not the facilitator. So for this particular training series, it is dependent on NUGS to determine whether they will want to issue certificates to the participants. So I think that would have to be taken up by NUGS executive. Normally, they are the ones who would issue the certificates, not the facilitator, because then it's NUGS that is organizing, and I'm just facilitator. I was just brought on to conduct the training. So I think you can raise it with your executives, and I think perhaps that is why the team is gathering attendance list, right? Normally for the trainings that certificates are issued, they will normally gather attendance list. So for those of you who have not seen the attendance list QR code, please, it has been shared in the Zoom chat box. Kindly scan and then record your attendance. That is how they can confirm your attendance and then issue certificates if they will. Is that okay? So thank you so much, Mr. DA. Any other issue to raise before we round up? Now, a quick one. You realize what we did?
Sorry, I was okay.
No, come in.
Please finish with that. Then it's a question, but you can finish with you.
So, what we did, this Gen AI, right? That helps you to summarize or do other stuff. In Zotero, there is a plug-in and an AI modification you can do. But the reason why I didn't focus on that is because it is not compatible with the current version of Zotero. It is a very nice tool, a very cool AI plugin that you can use, right, in your Zotero. But I didn't, so this is what it's called. It's called Area. You realize I'm saying that Area is incompatible with Zotero. I had it in the previous versions of Zotero. It was a cool tool where you can use to gather thoughts. For example, you can ask it to give you more like some similarities, some contrasting features between various papers. You can basically communicate with it to give you some information about various papers, okay? But unfortunately, the developers have not yet made it compatible with the current Zotero edition. So hopefully in the future, if it's made compatible with current Zotero, maybe if there's an opportunity, it's something that I could also provide a training on. But currently, it is only compatible with the previous version of Zotero, I think version 6 and 7, but not version 8. Yeah, so that's the quick one. I just wanted to chip it in. So for those of you who are using version 6 or 7, it's something you can look into. All right, Big Brother, you can come in now.
Yeah, I was saying that when we were searching for articles online, it seems like the browser it directly use Microsoft Edge. I would like to know, is it by default or we can just change it? Because mine, the same thing that I encountered, it directed me by Microsoft Edge. I wanted to know if you can just switch it to maybe Chrome.
For the searching online, it uses what your system has designated as the default browser. Do you get it? So, for example, if I also click on it, it will use Microsoft Edge because in my system or in my settings, Microsoft Edge is my default browser, though I use Chrome for my works. So if you wanted to use Chrome, you can just go and set Chrome as your default browser in your settings, in your computer settings, and then it will start using Chrome. So it's a simple change you can make. Is that okay?
Thank you.
All right, welcome. All right, my people. So this brings us to our last session, okay, for this research workshop, specifically on reference manager use in research. It's been a pleasure taking you all through this series. And I think you guys also made it fun and interactive.
Just a quick one. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right. Thank you, Doc. Thank you for the training. Thank you also for your time. I would like to ask a quick one regarding Zotero. I was having a problem with it. It's I don't know. Is it now possible you can edit your reference style like in Mendeley?
Is it not possible to edit the title of your references?
Because sometimes, the school, sometimes they have their own reference style, and you might not find it. You understood?
Yeah, I understood.
Yeah, thank you.
I think mostly you can find it online. If a school, for example, I get what you are sharing. For example, maybe this thing is not responding still. So let's go to Zotero. So let's try and maybe use Zotero. Okay, so let's close this part. Or let's open Mendeley again to see if perhaps it's responding now. All right, so these are some of the challenges you face with Mendeley, all right? So I prioritize Zotero. So for example, if I use Zotero, okay, maybe I choose APA, I click OK, and then I use, let's just use one. So, okay, let's use this. And then let's add more. Once you enter, and then let's delete this one. All right, so let's delete this and then create using Zotero. So add bibliography. All right, so it says we didn't insert, so let's try and insert. So let's quickly create a new file. All right, and then let's insert maybe a few. So go with the 7th edition. And then go with this. Let's get 3. All right, so we go with this 3. And then we insert the bibliography. So you add bibliography, right? So if you are using Zotero, once you click on document preferences, it gives you the option. And then you can click on manage styles. That should also give you option. If you still don't find it here, you can click on get additional styles. And then you can search. I know that most often schools that have their custom citation style, they have an online, should I say, plug-in that you can download into your reference manager to use so that you don't have to do them by hand. Big brother, I hope you get what I'm sharing. So you just have to maybe go to your school library and then they can give you more information on that. If you search online, you don't see your school maybe plug-in online, you can go to the library. And I think more often than not, they would have a plugin that you can incorporate into your reference manager such that it will automate your style and make it suitable to what the school requires. All right, so you're saying, okay, good. Okay. So like I was saying, this will bring us to an end of our session. Big Brother Kojo has reshared the attendance list. So please, you can scan the attendance list code and then register your attendance. And I believe if the body or the make a decision to issue certificates, that is my email. Okay, I'm sending my email in the chat box in case perhaps you want to reach out. Feel free to reach out to me through the email. So just give me a minute. Okay, so I've sent my email in the chat box. In case you want to reach out, please feel free. And let's all do enjoy a blessed evening. And then my appreciation also to the NUGS body for giving this opportunity to engage with you all. So let's have a wonderful evening, and hopefully once we have the opportunity to catch up again for a training, we would gladly do that. Let's all enjoy a blessed night. Bye.
Hey, Dom, please, before you go, I want you to, is it possible to give them a project or assignment to submit? That way it will be confirmed that all of them were present in your sessions.
Oh,
So once
okay.
they submit the final project to you, that will base on that to, recognize their participation.
I see.
So
And
if possible, you give them a timeline.
Would you want them to submit it directly to you, or they would have to submit to me?
To you, and then you can update us on that.
And then I confirm with you.
We can meet backstage, but it will also be great if you give them the projects. Then also specify the time.
All right. Okay. So, my people, so we have homework to do. Okay, I think this just to help the executive to confirm attendance so that they can issue out anything if they are going to issue a certificate or whatever it is, that would help them. So I think we all right, based on our field, what I would want you to do is to create a 2-page document, all right? The document should capture information about your research area, okay? So it can be a theme you pick to work on, and the assignment will mainly be about the citing, and I want you to cite using Zotero in one document, and then make a copy of the same document, and then cite using Mendeley. I hope you are following. So it should be just a 2-page, maximum of 2-page. It can be at least 1 page, maximum of 2 page. So just type out. It can be maybe an extraction, or it can be some paragraphs that you gathered from various sources that has in-text citation. All right, so let me type some things on the screen. So the 1-page or 2-page document you have for Zotero, okay, you do an in-text direct citation, and then do an in-text indirect citation, right? In-text indirect citation, and then generate your bibliography. So these are the main things I want you to do. So the document you are going to submit should be in Word document, because that's how I can confirm whether you use Zotero and whether you use Mendeley. So you are basically going to generate these 2 paragraphs, and in the paragraphs, do an in-text citation, as many as you can. The in-text citation, some of them should be direct, some of them should be indirect. And then on the last page, you should have your bibliography. So it means your document should have at least 2 pages to 3 pages, because if you write on 1 page, for example, like this, the next page will be for your references. The references should be on a separate page. If I say reference, I mean bibliography. That should be on a separate page. So just devote at least 1 page to different paragraph, do in-text citation. The in-text citation should be direct and indirect. And then the next page should be your references. And then you save the file. Don't save it as a PDF. Save it as a Microsoft Word document. All right. Add your name. And then, so for example, if I finish this file, the name should be maybe Ahmad. Since I use Ahmad's name, you can make Ahmad. And then you can do something like Ahmad Zotero, right? For the file that you use Zotero to do the citation. And then just do the same for Mendeley. So it means for Mendeley too, I'll create another 1-page or 2-page document, do in-text citation, do them as direct or indirect, and then also generate the bibliography. And then you save it as Microsoft Word, right? And then after saving it, you give it the name, the same like we did for Zotero. You give it the name Ahmad and then Mendeley. And then you can send them to my email. And then once I receive them, I would confirm with the NUGS authorities, and I think they would confirm your participation for maybe any certification or anything that you have to do with this information. Miss, does that suffice? Hello? I hope this assignment suffices. And I think it will give them opportunity to practically engage with what we went through. And once they send me, because it's in Word document, I can confirm whether they use Mendeley or Zotero. And I think that should suffice. All right, my people, I hope you got the assignment. Was that clear enough?
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Okay, great. So once you send to the email, and then I think I'll alert the authorities, and then they will get in touch with you. So thank you once again for the time, and
Please don't go. screenshot. You can take a screenshot of the attendance.
Come again.
Please take a screenshot of the attendance, the participants.
Oh, I still have to take. I thought because you were taking the attendance list. Okay, so let's take a screenshot of the attendance. Hold on, let me take a screenshot of the attendance. Give me a minute. I'll let you when I'm done. All right. So, D, I hope that helps. So
yes,
I'll take
please.
it and I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
All right. Are we allowed to end now?
Yes, Doc. I think we can close.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
You're
A
welcome.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
I feel like I'm